Christmas festive games or activities for the preschoolers and toddlers, and this can also be done with parent and me classes. They are very much where you are going to be telling a little bit of a story as you're going through your lesson. This will help with your structure to enable it to flow through right from the beginning to the end. So today's little story that I have used to be able to have that magical sort of sense of picturing what it could be in real life in the swimming lessons. And we are decorating our trees. Now, we put our tree up very early this year because my son was very excited. So I thought, why not? I'm sure most people now are putting their trees up. So bring it into the lessons. I have used these trees, it's still wet from lessons this week, but I have used these trees for so many things. There are templates that I have that I've that you can just cut out and reuse for multiple themes. I'm a great believer in once you you spend the time putting these materials together, that you can reuse them over and over again throughout the year. And like I said, these have been well used. This time they are Christmas trees and we're going to be decorating them. So with regards to the parent and me class, I actually put these up on the side. Whether or not you have that space, you're going to have to be a little bit creative with what you have. So I'm just going to explain how I did it, and then hopefully you'll be able to do similar sort of thing. I put these up on the wall so that they can see it, and it's at eye height, or if they have to just reach just a little bit to be able to again adding in and scaffolding those skills. Then on the other side, away from the trees, we have these stars. Now it depends to you how you want to roll with this. I'm going to go through the activities and then you can add it according to the story that you want to do it. And then also you'll find that the parents may want to do it slightly differently as well, and because they are rolling with what the child wants to do too. So I'm going to set everything up and then I'll go through the activities. The stars are on the opposite side away from the trees. Again, these are on level, but multiple places that you can put them. You can put them on kickboards that are formed a V shape, and you can add the stars to the kickboard. You can have a couple, 2 or 3 down the line with these stars on there. Or like I said, you can stick them on the depending on the top pool side or in multiple places around. Just again, think about your pool space of where you want to be. Now, what else I have also set up was these sheets here. Now, ideally, I would have, if you have a few in your class, which you would have done, I would cut these up into strips. So you've got these strips here with these different patterns, and these are lights. So they can go alongside the ping pong ball colours that you have. Now these bags I can add, they are in the description in the comments below, in the show notes, because all of these activities and where I'm showing you what these materials are will be a list, so you can click on and easily go and get them. But like I said, you can cut these up, or you can have it so that you're covering it if you don't want to cut up. But there are plenty of them here, of where the parents or the children can choose. They're all different. There's no pattern that's the same, so they could essentially go multiple times to go and get them. The ping pong balls can be out in pools, so they have to go and find them, but they're going in order. Now the balls will pretty much roll off if you come and you bring them back to here. So what I tend to use are ice cube trays, and again, how to get these and where to get these are in the description. And basically when you go down and collect one of the balls, you can add in again different skill sets. They're just going down and picking it up and bringing it back, focusing on their leg kicks and warming up. Or they could be then pushing the ball, blowing the ball, kicking the ball, whatever you think that you want to do. And then they come back and then they're doing their, they are then doing their sequence of using and putting it on here so it doesn't roll off. So again, I've got the balls out, or you could put them in a couple of buckets around the outside. If you need to control where they go, you can add those containers, which are really important to think about when you are using that type of thing. Then also what I've got out here, I'm just going to add my trees back here because I've got a fair few trees, is that I've also got in different bowls. So I have different bowls. Again, think of your containers, of how you can contain all these things. And I will now, then you can also, now you've added the lights, they can then decorate their tree. So I've added these really cool fancy pom-poms that are sparkly, which are great, which could be baubles, or it could be whatever the children decide that they are to be today. Also, what else I've got in here to put out, if I can find it, because I've got a fair few. I've got a snorkel to try from Finis, amazing snorkels by the way, and I've got my goggles in here. Actually these ones were glow in the dark goggles that we were trying, but they are super cool again from Finis. And also I've got my goggles in here too, so I'll always like to have a variety of different things to take. I've also got to sprinkle the magic, we've also got a retractable or collapsible, whatever you want to do, colander, and this is great as well with doing water confidence. But anyway, going back to decorating the tree, I put everything in a handy bag here, keeps it all together. But I've also, you may have different things, doesn't mean to say you do these, but this is what I'm working with because I've used these and have these. So I have these really cool gems, which I've used again for lots of different things. Once you get them, you can reuse them for so many different things, and the children absolutely love these. They're perfect size, and like I said, I put them in these little containers of where they go and choose to collect them from. Also, other things to decorate, I got these stars. These are really cool stars that are laminated. Now I buy all these pretty much on Temu, it's my favorite place, but those sort of things on there, and like I said, you know, pom-poms and things, so they can go off and decorate, and they can go, you can go back and forth a couple of times just so that they are constantly moving and thinking about how much they want to decorate. And then of course you can add the stars at the end of where it's further away, of where you're then adding the star to the top of the tree as the last part. Or maybe you want to add in an angel if you want to cut out angels, or it could be a diamond for the top, or maybe different shapes that you might want to add for the end that they can go and choose. Then the last thing that they sort of ended up doing for this part of going and getting type of things, I also then had these presents. Now I got these years ago and never used them yet, so I thought I'll use them this year. And they would go and get these. However, I put these on the side of where we were doing push and glides, because I have two sets of these, of where they were going to be going to the green present to the green present, red to the red and blue to the blue, and I do have grey as well, of where they're doing the push and glides from present to present, and then if they wished to then at the end after doing that to go and then add it to their little bit of their Christmas setup if they're wanting to finish that off with the presents at the end. We also did some directional work of where we were pretending to be tinsel, and they were going here, there and everywhere. You could do it where they're twinkling lights, of where you're wrapping it around the tree. You could maybe have a big float out, and you could have a picture of a tree, and then they're pretending that they're going round and round with that. You can also then pretend to be twinkling stars on their back where they're opening and shutting. You could add in rolls as well. Pretty much for the toddlers and the parent and me class, that's a really good half an hour lesson. If you're wanting to, of course, then, which I highly recommend, to add in the safety skills at the end all the time, every lesson, as much as you can, adding in that part too. So I hope you liked that session for the parent and me class for decorating the Christmas tree. Make sure you check out the next video for the preschoolers.